Peace and blessings, family. This is your brother Rasar Imhotep with the Martin Delaney Center for Egyptology. And what is to follow is a short amount of video clips that I've put together in as part of a larger conversation on the relationship between jazz and hip hop. And as I argue regarding the Jashe tradition, and that is the Ashe of jazz, that hip hop is a branch of jazz. And so you'll see in a number of these clips many of the artists and intellectuals making that connection. And so I plan to do a bigger thing, so I'm just kind of gathering notes right now. So these are just a few clips to get the conversation started. Enjoy.
My homie said, shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see. My homie said, shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see. My homie said, shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see.
Hip hop is an embodiment of 5 elements.
The reason why hip hop started was we was trying to emulate Here Comes the Judge. Listen to that record.
Wow.
Listen to that record.
Yeah, he, this court is now in session. His Honor, Judge Pigmeat Marked and presiding. Yeah, he, the coat of swings is just about ready to do that thing. I don't want no tears, I don't want no lies. Above all, I don't want no alibis. This judge is hip, and that ain't all. He'll give you time if you're big or small. Fall in line or this coat is neat. Peace, brother.
Uh-oh, here come the judge. Here come the judge. Everybody know that he is the judge.
Hearing what John Coltrane was doing, man, the solos and the rhythms that he was doing, it was just in me, man. And I started realizing, like, holding on to all them rhythms that I heard in jazz. When I started sitting down to write rhymes in hip hop, I wasn't just hearing 1, 2, 3, 4. I was saying 1, 2, 3, and 4, and whatever. You know what I mean? So I started realizing, yo, if I can, fill in all of this space with rhythms and intellectual words that grab them and 4 or 5 syllable words and you know what I mean? I figured out, I can make the same rhythms that he was making by using certain syllable words and using certain syllable words after each other, you know what I mean? So I took it from a flow and a flow to blow to then gold and a blown to blown down diddle to blown to diddle to blown bone to don't to blown to don't, you know what I mean? I'm just like all over the place with it. Yeah.
Right.
Yo, these are Jews. Y'all should turn your cameras off.
90s for me, in my mind, is like the jazz era of hip hop.
Which is quote unquote the golden era is called.
Well, late 80s is golden era.
Well, I mean, I think it's late 80s going into mid 90s.
Yeah,
that would be the golden era.
All that 90s shit wasn't hot. Niggas like 90s was the best era. No, it wasn't. It was cool. It was a nice era and shit. For me, late 80s, early 90s. I'll do that. But a lot of that shit...
It's the best era?
Yeah, it's the best era. It's late 80s, early 90s as the best era. That was my era. And when I was just everything hip hop.
I need to know what you mean by jazz.
By jazz, meaning you had...
Talking all that jazz?
Stop. Check it out, my man. This is the music of a hip-hop band. Jazz, well, you can call it that. But this jazz retains a new format. Point.
No. So when you look at Nas and you look at P.E.'s more little, yeah.
You talking Nas, we talking 90s, we talking Nas.
It's the lyrical era.
Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
The production.
Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
Like everything.
And the lyrical content.
Yeah.
There was so much diversity from Fight the Power to fucking to the Daisy Age.
Right.
Right.
So I like that diversity there. I felt like that was hip hop's best voice in terms of diversity.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally different.
John Coltrane, Love Supreme.
I was just going to say that.
It's one of my favorite albums.
He listens to it every day.
Speaking of jazz, I mean, it was people like Pete Rock, DJ Premier, and Tribe Called Quest that were carrying the tradition of jazz by bringing it out through hip hop.
So you had it in the house.
My father used to play jazz a lot, so I was like, you know what, let me try to see if I can make beats, and then it worked out.
When we were coming up, when I was a child in the 90s, all the main hip hop stars were rapping conscious. So there was the Brand Nubians, it was the Poor Righteous Teachers, it was Ice Cube, it was Arrested Development, it was X-Clan, it was Queen Latifah. Black was in. So whenever the enemy seen that, wait a minute, this is not just some mumbo jumbo over top of some stolen instrumentals from jazz beats. This hip hop thing really has sway over people and can shape and mold public opinion. They can create a revolution with this rap.
Pete Rock and CL Smooth, they reminisce over you. Mecca and the Soul Brother is 30 years old this year. Can you believe that?
They reminisce over you just popped up in my face one summer in '92.
I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say think back 22 years ago to keep it on track. The birth of a child on the 8th of October. A toast when my granddaddy came sober.
And the video, the way it was shot, looked like a Spike Lee film. Almost.
Yeah, right, yep.
And it was so, at that time, it was one of the most mature videos I've ever seen. The subject matter, the family, the elder statesman in the video, the family pictures, the cinematic, the way it was shot when CL was sitting in the barber chair.
Right, in the dark, right.
Oh my God, it was just
Yeah.
him wearing the African American College Alliance sweatshirt. It was just everything. It had a jazz feel to it, but then here comes the horn break.
My God.